I have a great idea,
But I'll
never do it. The boy happened. Sure, the monkeys might fly out of my butt. I don't think so.
I don't see it happening.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of I Have a Great Idea, but I'm never gonna do it. I am one of your hosts, Louise.
I'm the other host, Jon. Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, guys.
We have great ideas.
We're not going to do them, and
Nope.
neither are you guys. Or maybe you will. I don't know.
If you do, let us know.
Please let us know.
Call our hotline.
Call our hotline, 304-804-IDEA, or write to us at greatideapod or greatideapodcast@gmail.com. Both of those work. Although
I decided on a long intro because I didn't know if maybe a newcomer would be like, what is this?
This is the show where we talk about all the great ideas that we have that we're never ever gonna do. What are you drinking, Louise?
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Water.
Water. It's noon?
Noon.
None?
Oh,
It's N-U-U-N.
is it like those like
It's-
tablets that you put in water?
Yes, it's like an electrolyte replenishment hydration tactic.
Okay, water enhancement.
Yes, a water enhancement.
I dig it.
Although the other day I was drinking one and Chris was like, why do you have heartburn and you're having an Alka-Seltzer? I'm like, no, it's just hydration.
Enhanced hydration from the people who brought you other products that I don't know about.
People in my community are really, really freaking out about it. So I'm like,
People
what is
in
it all
your
about?
community.
The fitness
The
world.
fitness world. Got it. Oh, okay. So it's fitness people approved. They're actually digging on it. It actually works. It helps.
I mean, if nothing else, I certainly drink it
Yeah.
rather than like having an empty water bottle that I don't refill that is just plain water that I
Right.
look at and think about.
So I feel like this is tying into some things that we've talked about in previous episodes because my hydration game has changed a lot lately, and I think that it's due to, I mean, we had talked about flavored.
Our sponsor, LaCroix.
Yeah, we've talked about flavored sparkling water a bit, and my household has gone LaCroix-less recently. But because we've been trying to use our SodaStream more.
Very nice.
Right? Because we are actually buying a new house. So it's like, yeah, let's try to not spend money on things that we can make at home. But what I've been doing, I got those like, those little like squirt bottles of lemon juice or lime juice?
Yes.
Yeah, so I just got some of those and do like a little tiny squirt so that it just makes it a little bit more interesting. Like,
You have a little essence.
yeah, exactly, because it needs it. And I'm not the kind of person who's just like, gotta hydrate all the time. I'm not thinking about that. But if it's...
We need to coax the hydration
I know.
into
I'm
you.
just not that kind of guy. I'm not easy with the hydration. So,
You're not alone.
no, it's a thing. It's tough.
It's tough.
Although anybody who's watching us on YouTube right now will see that I'm drinking plain old boring water. So I'm a big fraud, basically.
Well, as long as you know.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're not going to be shy about this. So I feel like what you were just saying about the noon tablets feeds in really well to one of my great ideas.
Oh,
May I
let's do
have
it.
the floor for a segue?
The floor is yours.
The floor is mine. So, have you ever been in a stinky house?
Have I?
Sometimes I feel like, especially when somebody has been living somewhere for a while, they get used to the funk of their own home. I'm sure that we've all been guilty of it at some point or another. I think that, and this is, the example I'm giving might not work for everybody because it is reliant on air conditioning and heating units. I feel like there needs to be a place where you can put a filter that will emit a slight pleasant aroma through the ductwork, creating a delightfully smelling home. What are you thinking? You're thinking something.
It's called atmospheric scent.
This is a thing? Okay,
Yes,
cool.
I have done extensive research on it circa 2010 because my place of work was thinking about having that enhance the boutique fitness experience.
Sure. So it is a thing. Is it? Tell me.
I don't know that it's a thing in private homes. It's definitely
Okay.
things in a commercial setting.
Well, I mean, I figure it's got to be at least.
I
Yeah.
can give you 3 examples right off the bat.
Let's hear them.
Abercrombie and Fitch.
Uh-huh.
Crumbs.
Okay.
Which now has like a little bit gone out of business, and Subway.
Right. I mean, I was actually thinking of Subway in the way that they emit odor and aroma, even though they mean the same thing, definitely way different vibes. The aroma of
The olfactory stimulation.
Sure, fine, if you want to get all technical about it. But they release the aroma to encourage people to buy certain things. Right, yeah. So, I just want my house smelling like jasmine year round. Is that such a bad thing?
Or you could just alter it. You could have seasonal shifting. So in the spring, you could have a nice, like, sort of sweet lavender, like a subtle, or maybe a fresh citrus, or a woodland, piney, or pumpkin spice latte.
Pumpkin
basic
spice
bitches.
house. This is where we're at right now. Okay, we're both taking hydration breaks.
Oh, we're as bad as candidates.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Okay, so it is a thing. Good. That takes a lot of the weight off of me.
Only in commercial settings. I've never heard of it in the private sector. Wait. Residential. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I feel like we could all benefit from. It's just like putting one of those air fresheners that clip onto your car's ventilation system. What are you giggling about?
I don't want to interrupt, but you said it's just like pudding. And
Oh.
I was like,
For anybody not watching at the YouTube, Louise made the gesture of eating pudding.
I couldn't help myself.
I get it.
You could even maybe do it. Certain rooms have different smells for if you in your home, so that it wasn't one communal smell. Like the baby nursery could smell like fresh linens, and the kitchen could always smell like coffee.
It's kind of like Sonos for your nose.
It's exactly that.
So
It's exactly that.
So okay, maybe
It's nosos.
Nozos. So instead of, it might not need to be something that goes through ductwork because not everybody has such a thing. It's just not a thing for a lot of people. So yeah, I mean, it's very similar to just like on-demand oil diffusers or, different types of diffusers. Where maybe there's different cartridges of aroma. And and you can select on your iPhone which room is going to smell like what at any given time.
There's an app for that.
Of course.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
I kind of want to go back for a second.
Yeah.
We went from water to scent. Were you in a house that was stinky?
I don't even know.
Did someone tell you that your house was stinky?
No, I don't even remember how this one came about. I had completely forgotten about it until I looked at my notes app the other day and was like, I wrote that in there, I guess. I don't know.
All right. Lol, I was hoping for a really intense story because you said you might be buying a house that maybe you were at like an open house and you were like, this house is stinky.
No.
And there was a whole story, but no.
No, open houses typically smell like fresh paint. Yeah.
Yes.
Or new carpet. Or both.
Isn't it funny how people feel very drawn to new car smell? Mm-hmm. But like new house smell isn't something that we're all like,
Yeah, because it's
gotta
just
have that.
paint and carpet, really. Depending on the
But
flooring
isn't
situation.
a car just like Windex and upholstery?
I feel like there was an article recently about like what actually the new car scent really is chemically. And I don't think I actually read the article, but I saw that there was one.
There was a headline.
I read articles the same way I commit to ideas. Just the headlines, no follow through.
No.
But there was something, so Google it. But yeah, that's something that's appealing to people. But I feel like it's more common to get a new car than it is to be getting new houses all the time.
That's true.
Unless you're me, apparently, who's just like, I bought a house a year and a half ago. Time to get another one.
I just had an idea.
Yeah.
What if there was open house club and it's full of people addicted to new house smell and they go around together or they like match up somehow to tour houses on the market
God.
because they just crave that
They gotta
sensation.
get that open house aroma. I like it.
Dog, you into this? I'm going to that open house on Sylvester Street.
Sylvester Street. What a random street name to come up with right now. Not like Main Street. You live in New York, not a number street.
I don't
Sylvester
know.
Street.
I live on a number street.
I know you do. So do I.
And you know how when you're an adolescent and you're trying to search for your porn name and it's like your dog's first name, your first dog's name or your first pet's
Right.
name and then the street that you grew up. I was like, ugh, 7th Avenue South.
Yeah.
This is, come on.
Well, it's funny you should mention that. Speaking about how I'm buying a new house, I really like that my new house is going to be on a street with an actual name. So that in the future, if there are children, they will have a legit porn name.
Thank God. That was really what we were trying
Louise,
to.
I believe the children are our future. So let's give them proper porn names.
Okay, so this is a roundabout segue as well. Speaking of children's needs. Speaking of children's needs, so I was walking the dog the other day to the post office. I had to drop off a card for my Uncle Mark's birthday.
Happy birthday, Uncle Mark.
Happy birthday! And I passed this store that's way too expensive for me to ever buy a dress in. That's just the life I live. But I was looking at it and I took a picture of this dress and I sent it to my mom and I was like, what do you think about this maybe? I could get married in this dress. Let me describe the dress to you quickly. It's got a tiny ruffle on the bottom, just like it's navy silk, but not so navy that you could confuse it for black.
Okay.
It's a darkish blue, but a light navy. Anyway.
Got it.
And it's got the outline of tigers. And instead of having stripes, they're filled with these really tiny blue and red flowers. And she says to me in the text, yeah, that'll work. Why do you want to get married in this dress? And my response was, future children will be able to say, well, my mom got married in a dress that has tigers on it, so.
Right. Okay. We are in our 30s. We have to start thinking about somebody other than ourselves. It's all about the next generation.
It's the future.
Right? That way we can say, well, I want my kids to say, man, my parents did blank. Not because we're doing it for ourselves, but just so that they have that cool ass story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Okay, so let's move along here. What are some of your banked ideas? What do you got?
Okay, a banked idea that I have, and it's relevant to this past week for me, I need there to be mark as unread on almost everything. I often will get a text or Facebook Messenger, I don't know, something, a communication. And I'll be like, oh, cool, I should look at this. And then be like, I gotta go teach a class.
Right.
I'll respond to them later. And then I forget.
Yeah,
So
I'm with you.
somehow, and
It seems
in
like an
particular,
easy
I
feature.
did it to you.
Okay.
I did it to you this past week where I was like, oh, totally, I'll respond to John. And then I was like, well, I can't do that because I had taught a class at 5:30 in the morning. So I was at the park in Central Park. It was, 6:45, 7 a.m. And I was like, oh, I should totally write. Don't do that. It's 4 in the morning for him. Don't do that. Do it later. And then I forgot. And then a different friend invited me to like a last minute get together on Sunday night. And I was about to teach a class and a friend of mine was in town from Boston. And I was like, oh, totally. I should do that thing Sunday night. I'll get back to her later. And then didn't. So Chris and I went on a date.
Oh, that's nice.
I like totally forgot. And then Monday I was like, when was her party? Oh, no.
Well, first of all,
So I need a feature.
yeah,
Mark as unread.
right. First of all, I'm a do not disturb kind of guy when I go to sleep at night. So you text me at whatever time you want. Just
Okay.
getting that out there.
Okay, good to know.
Also, yeah, this feature should be easy to implement. It's already there for one thing. Why not make it
Yeah.
available for something else? It's just a notification thing. Make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. The version iOS
Now-
10.2? I don't know. And
I just need. No, I was going to say. Go ahead. I think I may have just stumbled on something.
uh-oh, does this already exist?
No.
Okay.
But I don't think it's real. Hold on. So on the old operating system,
Uh-huh.
you used to be able, you know how if you hold down a message
Oh yeah, it gives
on
you
the new thing, it says like, a heart, a thumbs up, a thumbs down, a ha ha, exclamation points. That's the new one. On the old one, it used to say like delete or more. And you
Right.
could click more, and then there was an arrow, and there was an option to forward. So someone in my life who is into technical things was like, well, if you have that problem and you know it's a problem, why don't you just forward the text message to
That's
your
a
email?
lot of steps.
And then that's a lot of steps.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you may as well just tell the person, text me that again, and then just like don't open it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's got to be a better way. Yeah. It seems so simple.
Yeah.
You actually made me think my one other idea that I had written down the other day is very similar. It has to do, because this is not something that's an invention. It is a feature that needs to be implemented on something that we encounter maybe on a day-to-day basis, depending on who you are. A cancel button, let's say or a way to cancel if you are in an elevator and hit the wrong floor. Let's say you're like, gotta go to the 12th floor, and you hit, 11, and then you hit 12, and, you've corrected your mistake. But maybe if it's like, okay, but if you go back to 11 and hold that down, it cancels it.
This would be perfect for 1990s movies and sitcoms too, where the little snot kid goes
And it
into
just goes,
the elevator. And like,
Oh, you did a much better sound effect than I did.
so, because then you could be like, spoiled, rotten little kid. But then you could go ahead and cancel all of those.
Yeah, I mean, it would take a while to cancel all those. But
It would also take a while to stop at all those floors.
this is true, arguably longer. So
I like it. That's a great idea.
well, it was funny because I was in my mother-in-law's building. She lives in a condo. She's on the 17th floor, but she also has an office on the 4th floor. And I was there with my wife, and we knew that we were meeting my mother-in-law on the 4th floor at her office, but accidentally had hit the 17th floor first. And I believe I was just like, man, I wish that there was some sort of way to cancel the wrong button. And then we just kind of looked at each other, and I got out my notes app and wrote it down. And it was just like, yep, that's making the list.
You know my favorite part of this? Mm-hmm. Consideration.
Right.
Because you were going to go to 4 and get out. And a normal human, or people, I'll call them not friends, would just get out and be like, whatever. Mm-hmm. And the elevator takes all that time to go up and affects all these other people, but not you. But it did affect you. And that's why I love you.
It's, it's common courtesy, people.
For those of you who aren't watching on YouTube, I'm giving myself a hug, which is really a cyber hug for Jon for just being an upstanding guy. And I cherish our friendship.
It's the best. Yeah, so that's kind of my thought about the importance of being able to enhance features to something that would maybe otherwise be considered something perfect. It's like we've already mastered the elevator. We don't have to like open up doors and things like that anymore. We've got it all figured out. But do we?
But do
we?
Oh, cancellation would be so
And
great.
honestly, the text message thing, mark as unread for text message, that should have been there in version 1.0.
1.0. And part of me thinks like, maybe it's just because I hold myself to a different standard and I don't want to ever be the flake. I just don't ever want to be the flake friend. And then something like this happens and I'm like, oh my God, I'm disappointed in myself. And then it's like, I have a conversation with someone in my life and they're like, what's happening in your day? And I'm like, I'm a disappointment. And then I have this whole thing. And they're like, easy. It's a text message.
Right. But it's more than just that. It's an invitation to a party.
Yeah. Or it's a question. Like, I don't know how your life is. Sometimes
It's
I
great.
text a friend. It's great. No, sometimes I text somebody something like, hey, what are you wearing to this thing? Or whatever, I'm texting a friend, or what song are you going to play, or whatever in class. And then I wait. Hoping, even before the little think bubbles are lighting up, I just think they'll get this. I'll get this answer. How long should I wait? And I go through this whole thing, and then I'm like, but if they read it and they're like, oh yeah, I'll get to that later, and I'm hanging on. Oh, I don't ever want to be that person. Not the one waiting, but the one not responding.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It's just, we're all made of the same stuff, but we've all got different stuff going on the inside.
Yeah. Or even something like transportation where I'm like, oh, I'm going to go down into the subway where I know I don't have service because I'm on X line that doesn't have service underground, because some of the lines do have Wi-Fi and it's not going to send, but I'll wait till I get it back above ground. And then at this point I'm listening to a podcast or jamming and I'm like walking on my way and...
There's this like unsent block of text just sitting there collecting dust, cyber dust.
And then if I've typed it in but not sent it, that person's waiting and they see that it's like doing the think button and it's like, oh no.
So I think that now is a perfect time to test out the new headphone to lightning dongle and listen to some voicemails. Speaking
Let's
of marked
check
as
it out.
unread, anybody can see these blue dots.
Marked as unread.
Those are our voicemails right there. So,
Woo-woo!
are we all ready for this? This is going to happen.
Y'all ready for this?
All right. Let me get this one going. Play message. All right.
Louise and Jon. I have a great idea, but I'm not sure if it will get silent fireworks. So here goes. A lot of people nowadays are in the app world, especially when it comes to things like dating. You know, there's Tinder, there's Grindr, there's all sorts of apps. There's Match.com, there's Happen, blah, 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 blah. I myself am single and am not too into the dating app game or the online dating websites. So my idea is for a dating thing. So it goes along with how do you know if someone is single or not? Unless you really ask them. But someone like myself who's a little shy, you kind of just would rather know without having asked them or be embarrassed and, you know, want to break that shyness. So what if single people wore some sort of jewelry, whether it be a ring, whether it be a necklace or a bracelet, something that allowed other single people to know that they were single. And if it was like a ring or a bracelet or whatever it is, if it had a special like color on it, meaning you're looking to be in a relationship with someone. So it's kind of like the whole Irish ring with the heart. If the heart's facing you're taken, and if the heart's facing the outside world, then you're looking for someone. So it's kind of like that, but not just for Irish people. So that's my idea. What do you think? Do I get silent fireworks?
Louise?
It was one firework. I couldn't help but think the whole time about how jewelry means different things. I was thinking, God, I hate it. I hate it in spin class when people wear jewelry because part of me thinks, what if I need to like shock you back to life and you're going to get burnt by your jewelry? Take that off. That was the first thing I thought. The second thing I thought was about silly bands. Now, I still
love silly
wear
bands.
one because I love silly bands. But at the time when they were cool, it was like sexual prowess for these like middle schoolers. Like the more you wore, or like that was like how experienced you were, or the colors of them. But I will say there should be like a different. I was gonna say single people don't wear jewelry and the taken ones do, but that's different than a relationship.
Right. And
so there should be something. Yeah. But also, what about like different cultures or different?
Yeah. Not everybody's a jewelry person too. So that could be tricky with that. The first thing that I thought of, and y'all's gonna think I'm crazy, but I thought of the different colored bandanas that gentlemen in the S&M world tend to wear in their back pocket to indicate what they're into.
Oh my God. This is amazing.
So, if you haven't seen the movie Cruising, there's a great explanation in that movie of what the whole situation shakes down to. But, yeah, that's been done for colored bandanas. So maybe there's something similar to that. I think it's a really good idea. That there's some sort of indication. You know, in the same.
But how would we universally? Because I'm looking at your face and I'm having an idea, and I'm like, what if there's like a glasses charm that if you just got your glasses on, and on the right side there's like a little charm that hangs on the part that goes behind your ear, then you're single and looking.
Right.
You're looking with your goggles.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, if this type of thing is going to be happening, then it's just as important for there to be some sort of indication of like, I am single, but I am not interested in meeting anybody. Also, in the same way, that can be kind of tricky because there are so many times when you hear about people who meet the person that they spend the rest of their lives with, and they're just like, I wasn't even thinking of dating, but here we are.
Or even like we met and I was with this other person.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
but then I met you.
First of all,
So I was taken, but you're better.
This is true. Our caller, I don't think that he mentioned his name, which, by the way, thank you for calling. And also, you said you're a shy guy. Thank you for overcoming your phone shyness, if that's such a thing, and calling us. That's just the coolest thing. Yeah, this is a tricky idea. This is a tricky one. Because
But I like it.
It's not like we're Sims and have like diamonds floating and spinning over our heads that can tell people things.
That's hilarious. Have you ever seen Blue Man Group?
I have not, but I feel like I get it. Right?
You probably do get it, but there's a part where they wear these backpacks that have these like ticker tape red things, and it was like, what if we all just had backpacks that had little like things that went up that was like, I'm single and looking. Like
Yeah,
you're too shy to ask, but not too shy for a backpack like ticker tape.
Well, if everybody's doing it, if that's the norm, then yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Right.
There's got to be something. Maybe this is something that we'll circle back around to. And if anybody thinks of any solutions for our caller, call them in. 304-804-IDEA or write it into greatideapod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear everybody's thoughts about this type of thing, because this is, we could go for months just listing options for this idea.
Totally. I was going to say, like, it is maybe good to also point out how you and I are not experts at these things.
Oh, no.
Because we're both not in that position. And also, I feel as though I've only ever been shy once, and it was when I was very tiny. No, let me tell you this quick story.
I'd love to hear the story of
listeners.
the one time that Louise was shy.
Listeners, watchers, and John. So I, as a small tiny tot, was very into McDonald's as reward. Like, what, are you hungry? Yes. If you do this good, we'll go to McDonald's, or do this well, or if you're good at this thing, whatever. However, the catch to this, which I was too stupid to figure out, was that we can go to McDonald's, but when we go through the drive-thru, you have to talk into the speaker and do your order all by yourself. No, that's okay. So then I would just be like eating at home, like whatever, a turkey sandwich or carrot sticks or something, because I did not want to talk to the people at the drive-thru or into the little box.
Were you devastated? This was your reward.
Yeah, but here's the thing. This was not one time it happened. That was the thing. So it was like, hey, if you're like super, super good in this antique shop and you don't break anything or cause a commotion or be noisy, we'll go to McDonald's. We will? Yay! So then I'd like be really good and not touch anything in the expensive antique store. And then we'd get in the car to like go, and we'd be like, okay, but if we go to McDonald's, you got to order yourself. No, that's okay.
Oh, boy.
And it happened over and over and over.
Had you ever even eaten McDonald's ever in your life because of this?
Of course. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. See, because then once I did figure it out, it would be like, can you order for me? Like, I'll tell you what I want. Will you order for me? I mean, I didn't go a lot.
Yeah.
This was the game.
Right.
The parenting game. But I just want to point that out. I don't have a lot of experience being shy. Other than that, also not single and looking.
Yeah.
Because I'm the kind of kid who's like, you look really hot. Your outfit's awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Or like, I would like to kiss you right now. Is that okay? Like, just whatever.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I was...
But I appreciate the openness, and I would like to help.
I was a shy little kid, and I don't, like, when I was a kid, if you would have told me that I, like, ever talked to anybody that I didn't know, I would be like, what? You're a liar. And also, I don't know you. Get away from me. And I'm not talking to you because I'm shy. Yeah, you know, I don't know. 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 I I'm trying to think of a way to make there be some sort of universally recognized type of situation. I mean, I guess the one thing that has happened is that basically everybody has cell phones. That's like the one thing that just like caught on universally. That's kind of crazy. So I guess that is the solution is apps. But yeah, which by the way, I met my wife on Tinder, so it's not all that bad.
Possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for another voicemail?
Yeah.
Okay. I can see the phone number from this one, and we know who this person is. Just gonna go ahead and say that. But it's a first time caller. All right, here we go.
Hey, John. Hey, Louise. My name's Scott. I'm in Brooklyn. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I'm eating some chips and salsa. And I'm like, every time I eat chips and salsa, I try to dip the chips right into the jar. No, jar's too small. Chips are breaking and falling in. I got to go in there and rescue them with my hand. It's a mess. And then I pour it into a bowl. And it's like, well, now I got to wash that bowl. Why can't somebody just make the salsa jar with a wider mouth so it tapers down on the bottom and it gets larger on the top? So it is itself a bowl. Because a bowl is larger on the top and smaller on the bottom. You know? Why do I have to think of this? Come on, John, Louise, make somebody else do this. Because I know you're not going to do it. And also, I'm not going to do it. Have a great rest of the show. I'll be listening.
Scott, thank you so much for calling. Everybody, that was my brother, Scott. What a guy. We were talking on the phone the other day, and he confessed to me that he's always trying to think of ideas when he's listening to the show, and he's just like, trying to force himself to think of ideas. So I'm glad that this thing happened organically and while you were having a tasty snack of chips and salsa. Yeah.
I also appreciate that you don't just leave the poor chips in there, that you go in to rescue
You gotta
them.
go and rescue them. And then you get your fingers all salsa-y. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like ideally it should basically just be like a Frisbee filled with salsa with like a second Frisbee on top that screws off. And maybe even there, you peel back a layer and there's chips already in there. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and say that one. But yeah, I mean, you have to have something really wide so that there's no interference from the side.
Yeah. Or just salsa should come in a container similar to Cool Whip or whatever. Like it can be a
tub.
bowl with
Yeah.
like a tub.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, okay, salsa is
It seems so simple.
Salsa is the type of thing, though, that it's not like... I feel like it's more common that a jar of it goes pretty quickly. Once you open it, you're in for it. You're already on board for what's going on. You don't, like, have the same jar of salsa that you're nursing for 2 months. So it's not like a bigger container would really hinder its ability to stay fresh, because once you open it, you're probably going through it pretty quickly, is my guess. So yeah, like a Cool Whip style tub of salsa would be the way to go. Just make it nice and big, welcoming. You can do like really cool designs on the outside so that you can put it out at a party and it's not like tacky or anything. What's the deal with and Tostitos is a maker of salsa and chips, but they don't work well with each other. They don't play nicely unless you use a different... Okay, Scott, you are completely right.
Yeah. I'd buy it.
So anybody who's listening, and if you're in the United States, go to uspto.gov and patent your idea for this new salsa container. I would also like to take a second on behalf of Scott to plug an event. Scott is one of the few people I know that had a great idea and actually did it. People may have heard of Scott's Pizza Tours in New York. This is a pizza tour company. It's exactly what it sounds like. And it's been doing really, really awesome. We're all so amazed by how cool it is. And he had another idea that he's been doing for. I'm pulling up the website so I can get all the facts correct. But
Slice Out Hunger.
yeah, Slice Out Hunger is coming up. That is October, I want to say 7th. Scott, first of all, sliceouthunger.org does not say front and center when it is. Okay, NYC Dollar Slice Night. Okay, Wednesday, October 5th. It's in Soho. Go to sliceouthunger.org for information. You get dollar slices of pizza from all sorts of crazy pizzerias. And for those vegan listeners out there, there are vegan options there. I know that we have some. So it's at the Lower Hall, 155 Sullivan Street at Houston. And doors open at 6. We'll close when the pizza runs out. $1 tickets available at the door. And it all goes to, I want to say New York Food Bank is what all the proceeds go to. So
there's also items that you can bid on in a silent auction, and all of the money from the silent auction items gets donated as well.
Yeah, it's really cool. And also, if you're there and you see somebody selling something called Scott's Mom's Cookies, that's John's mom. So you can go say hi to John's mom and get some cookies. So
very cool.
Yeah, so this is my brother.
And it's not all just food either.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And I only know that because I had donated something. It's not food related. So if you...
Did you?
Well, I mean, I didn't personally, but Scott approached me about my place of work and said, do you think they'd be into an auction item? And I was like, let me get on that.
Cool.
Of course.
That's great. Yeah. I mean, when Scott was on the phone with me and said that he has trouble thinking of ideas, I said to him, that's because you have great ideas that you actually do. You know, you actually follow through with these crazy ass ideas. Yeah, and it's awesome. So yeah, go to Slice Out Hunger and check out Scott's Pizza Tours. They're really fun if you're in New York. But yeah, we agree. That's a great idea.
Is there also a donate button on the website?
I believe there
that
is.
If you can't make it to the event, you can still give $1 or...
I'm pretty sure I don't have it in front of me anymore, but I'm pretty sure there is. Whoa, I just realized, I just looked up at my video. It got really dark here.
What happened?
The sun is going down.
Seasonal shift.
I'm turning this light on. All right, there we go. That's a little bit better. Did you guys know that you can go on our YouTube channel and watch these podcasts instead of just listening to them like a bunch of dum-dums? I don't know.
Travelers? Yeah. Commuters?
If you're looking for something to do, when you're going to sleep, waking up, hanging out at home with the family, pop some popcorn and put on, I have a great idea, but I'll never do it, Visual Styles.
Visual Styles.
So we're about 40 minutes in. Let's talk about our challenges from last week.
Assignments.
Yes, our assignments.
Oh, yeah, challenges.
What did I assign you to? Glasses? Cool. Let's hear it.
Okay. So, first I need to
You just said
give...
queso, which kind of reminds me of Scott's idea. Anyway.
2 visual eatings. Pudding and queso. First, I'd like to give a hot shout out to Snapchat because I am not young and I am not cool and I don't like Snapchat. And most of the reason that I don't like Snapchat, and this is gonna age me or whatever as well, but it's way too Blair Witch Project for me. It makes me want to vomit the way people are like, look at my Snapchat. Oh my God, life is amazing. Ah! And I can't take it. So I just can't watch it because I'm too crazy. The Snapchat has invented a thing. Snapchat spectacles. They have the camera on the little side. So when you are looking at your everyday life, it sees what you see, puts everything in movie style, because I also am a person who cannot stand vertical video.
Too.
Makes me crazy. Puts everything in widescreen, and takes care of stabilization. Since the cameras are connected to you, you're kind of looking at what you're seeing. Nobody like looks around life and is like, oh my God. I mean, maybe some people do. And if that's your thing, teach me the allure of that. But I feel like they took my thunder. As much as I want to kudos them, stabilization big time was going to be a thing for me. Okay. With that first shout out, it's glasses that make everything widescreen. So it's a little tunnel vision, and it won't work for regular, well, I guess it could work for regular glasses, but I was thinking more in terms of sunglasses, where you would put it on and it would block out the sun from the sides and the top, but then focus you in as if you're in a movie theater so that you don't have all the peripheral distractions.
Yeah.
It would be dramatic and cinematic widescreen sunglasses.
I wonder if also something like that could help out people with like agoraphobia, kind of training them to feel like they're watching TV rather than, you know, all of the elements that are coming in from everywhere. I don't know. Yeah, that's cool. I like it. It's just like a little mat that,
Yeah, like a little mat. Yeah, like a, The other ideas that I have, because that was the winningest of them. The other ones were obviously different takes on like a visor glasses that comes down on your hat or on a bicycle helmet. Like you don't need it and then it gets way too sunny, but you can't get in your bag. So just boop, boop, flip them down. The other one that I thought of, but I don't know how it would happen, is if you're ever driving in a car and you flip the visor down and then the sun is still coming in from another direction, it would be an additional visor, but on your actual glasses that you could just flip on a side so that if your front sun visor is down, you don't have a side one because it, comes down and then flips open. But there would be also a way for you to still get that sunlight taken care of.
Gotcha.
Or the space between your rear view mirror and your visor. So just like another little like...
Yeah.
I don't know how to make it happen, but those were the lesser ideas.
I always like how you give me the reject ideas. Yeah, going back to what you're saying about Snapchat and these Snap glasses, it kind of goes back to what we were saying about what our first caller was talking about. Whereas if you see somebody that's wearing those glasses, you know who to avoid. Unless you want to be in somebody's story.
Snapchat.
Because they're very distinctive looking glasses. They do not look like very normal. So you can say like, oh, no. Get away from that guy. My assignment was having to do with something that I don't have to deal with because these do not come on men's clothing, but it is the little loops of fabric or whatever that women have on their tops that are dresses that they can hang up on the little hanger hooks or whatever. And how...
Which is a necessary feature.
It's a really great feature. I agree. But yeah, you often see people that have them kind of hanging out, and it's just like, get it together, sister. So I actually came up with the idea as you were assigning it to me, but I just knew I needed to back pocket it for a couple weeks. So much like, I'm trying to think if I have anything nearby, but let's say there are those little like cords that have a little compartment where you can like pull them out and you can choose how long they go, and then you kind of, when you're ready to kind of tuck them away, you pull them just a little bit and then they kind of zip back into it. Much like, also similar to like vacuum cleaner cords that you can press the button and they kind of suck back in. Yeah, there needs to be somewhere they can just kind of get hidden away in like the lining of the fabric somewhere. But yeah, have the ability to just kind of like zip them out as need be. And then when you're done with them, just kind of like do a little pull out and it sucks it back in. There's a little tab where you can access it. Yeah, that's all.
I like it.
It's not complicated.
Because look, sometimes people will say, just cut them out. And I'm like, but I need them.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to have like a pokey hanger shoulder thing. So I like need it. But it's always coming out an armpit. Retractable clothing loops.
Yeah.
Good job.
You too. We're all doing great.
Yeah, but I feel like you really won this challenge.
Well, I mean, mine is more like everyday functional, but yours is more pizzazzy. You know, yours is more of like a life experience type of thing. Right? Know what I'm saying?
Okay, we're both winners.
Yeah, there's no competition
Look at
here.
this. No. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
What do you got for me for next time?
What I have for you for next time. All right. I don't know if this is going to be tricky, but I believe in you.
It's tricky. Okay.
Yeah, it is. I do not. I know that it is now officially autumn. Summertime is gone. We'll see it again a little bit later on, you know. I know you're a summer person.
Single tier.
I don't like sandals or flip-flops. Come up with a way for me to like them.
Okay.
All right. What you got for me?
I was thinking about if someone put comments in rating us on the iTunes. Please, listeners, rate us on iTunes. Give us a high star rating. And if you put in quotes a word, we will both come up with an idea based on that. So I am just not going to lead you in any direction. I'm just going to give you a quotes idea. Honey.
Okay. All right. A lot of different imagery coming into my head. It's all happening. What are we going to do here? Honey. Got it. Okay.
And I'm not going to be too specific about what I'll just wait. You know what? I'm going to give it like I gave it.
You're going to give it like you gave it. Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. Got it. Cool. So we've got our assignments for next time. Thank you everybody for listening, and thank you to our first caller. I don't believe you said your name. Thank you so much for calling in. Scott, thank you for calling in. Yeah, we got to get the salsa thing all figured out for sure. Yeah, hummus comes in easy dipping containers.
Yeah.
All right, we got to think outside the jar.
Hummus on point. On point.
Okay, so queso. Thank you so much for listening, and yeah, like Louise said, rate us on iTunes, leave a comment, so on and so forth. You know what's up. Call in your ideas, 304-804-IDEA. We are at Great Idea Pod on everything, and including our email address is greatideapod@gmail.com or greatideapodcast@gmail.com if you're not into the whole brevity thing. And
we're on Instagram.
We are on Instagram. Posted on there.
If you have an idea and you put it on your Insta, #IHuggyBindy.
Oh yeah, but then we have to start looking for it.
Well,
that's fine.
Well, I'll do that part.
We'll do that.
I'll do that part.
Yeah. #IHuggyBindy. Got that, everybody?
They'll figure it out.
Yeah, I posted something on Instagram the other night when the debate was going on because CNN was dogging our split screen style.
They sure were.
I was watching it and I was like, hey, that's me and Louise.
That's so familiar.
Except for the people, it's very familiar. Oh my God, we should have gotten backgrounds with like, you know.
Like American flag.
Well, the
or,
American flag,
or
with like
just,
the
mine will be,
Constitution
like,
behind us.
Red.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man, we should have done that. We really dropped the ball, and we don't have a budget for that kind of thing. So
No.
yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody, for listening. Louise,
Thanks, guys.
always a pleasure.
It was fun hanging out.
All right, bye everybody.
I don't see it happening.